Long-distance relationships are tough. They're basically built on bad Wi-Fi and pixelated faces. But I never, ever suspected that a poor connection could let something else through. It was just another Tuesday night, almost midnight. I was FaceTiming my girlfriend, Sarah. She was house-sitting for her parents' way out in a secluded cabin in upstate New York. A huge storm was raging outside her window, making the signal chop and lag like crazy. "The wind is just insane," Sarah said, her voice sounding robotic and tinny. "I think the power might," and just like that, the screen froze. But it wasn't the usual black screen of a dropped call. It was a still image of Sarah, caught mid-sentence, her mouth slightly open, her eyes looking right at the camera. I sighed, leaning back in my chair. "Sarah, you frozen again." I waited for that familiar buffering wheel, but it never came. The call timer in the corner was still ticking away. I squinted at the screen. The image of Sarah was perfectly still, like a digital portrait, but the background was moving. I frowned, leaning closer to my laptop until my nose was almost touching the glass. Sarah was in the living room, and I could see the long, dark hallway behind her left shoulder. On this frozen video feed, the light in that hallway flickered. A shadow on the wall shifted. This wasn't a glitch. The pixels in the background were refreshing perfectly. I could see the rain hitting the window behind her, the clock on the wall. Its hands were moving. Only Sarah was frozen. A cold prickle of unease danced down my spine. "Sarah, this isn't funny," I whispered. "Turn around." The frozen image of Sarah didn't blink, but the shadow in the hallway did. It detached itself from the wall and stepped into the dim light. It was a figure, tall, wearing a grey hoodie, its face completely hidden by shadow. It started walking slowly, deliberately, toward the back of Sarah's chair. I screamed at the screen, pounding my fist on the desk. "Sarah, behind you, run." My audio was working. I saw the little sound wave spike, but Sarah didn't react. She just sat there, frozen in time, completely unaware of the figure looming over her shoulder. The figure stopped right behind her. It raised a hand, pale and with long fingers, and placed it gently on the frozen Sarah's shoulder. And then the frozen Sarah moved. She didn't unfreeze normally. She didn't gasp or look around. Her head snapped toward the camera with a mechanical, bone-cracking jerk. Her expression hadn't changed, but her eyes rolled back into her head, showing only the whites. Her mouth, still open in that mid-sentence pause, began to stretch. It opened wider and wider, unhinging like a snake, revealing a throat that was just a black pixelated void. The voice that came out of my laptop speakers wasn't Sarah's. It was deep, distorted, layered with the sound of 1,000 people screaming through static. "Connection established," the thing wearing Sarah's face said. The figure in the hoodie behind her finally pulled his hood back. I stopped breathing. The face under the hood. It was my own, a perfect copy of me, staring into the webcam from the other side of the country, smiling a wide, bloodless smile. "We are here now," the me on the screen said. The laptop screen went black. I sat there in the total silence of my apartment, my heart hammering against my ribs. I tried to convince myself it was a prank, a hack, some twisted nightmare. Then I heard a sound that turned my blood to ice. It was the sound of my own front door unlocking. Click. I live alone. I had locked it. But as the door creaked open, I realized the connection hadn't cut off at all. It had just transferred.